Hi there, and welcome to the Celeb Tea. When most people think of the Real Housewives, images of designer handbags, glittering diamonds, and perfectly curated photo ops immediately come to mind. The glamour, the drama, the picture-perfect lifestyles, it's what drew millions of viewers in over the years. But 2025 proved that even the brightest stars on Bravo aren't immune to trouble. Behind the dazzling appearances and polished Instagram posts, some of these once untouchable women began facing very public, very messy declines. The chaos wasn't scripted, it was real, often career-altering, and for some, completely unexpected. Let's start with Erika Jayne, long considered one of the most flamboyant and captivating figures on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Known for her bold fashion choices, perfectly coiffed hair, and an attitude that screamed confidence, Erika embraced the label of expensive with pride. But behind the sparkle and charm, her life was far from flawless. Legal battles loomed over her, and 2025, a year that was supposed to mark her grand comeback, quickly became a harsh reality check. She attempted to relaunch her career on stage and in business ventures, but the public wasn't convinced. The old Erika, the fearless, glamorous, and outspoken housewife, was no longer resonating with fans. Social media, always unforgiving, magnified every smile, every gesture, every attempt to reclaim her former glory. What was once a dream life now seemed fractured. The fame that once shielded her began to amplify her troubles instead of masking them. Tabloids scrutinized her wealth, often framing her luxury displays as tone-deaf or insensitive. Her confidence started to appear as denial, especially as the legal aftermath of her ex-husband's actions continued to make headlines. Even her once lauded fashion sense began to look like a mask, a way to distract from the controversies swirling around her. By mid-2025, chatter online suggested she might need a break from the limelight, and even Bravo seemed uncertain about her role going forward. What had once been the epitome of glamour had, quite literally, transformed into a symbol of scandal. Next is Dorrit Keley, another Beverly Hills alum who always seemed to have everything under control. With a brand built on wealth, sophistication, and calculated elegance, Dorrit appeared untouchable on screen. Whether flaunting couture outfits or discussing her mansion and business ventures, she exuded the kind of confidence that fans envied. But in 2025, the cracks in her carefully curated image became impossible to ignore. Her marriage to PK, long the subject of speculation, officially ended, and the breakup unfolded publicly in a way that exposed both financial and personal vulnerabilities. Rumors about unpaid bills, tax issues, and a lifestyle that wasn't quite as lavish as advertised began to circulate. Fans who once admired her impeccable style started to see a woman struggling to maintain appearances. Behind the glam squads and filters, she appeared tired, emotionally drained, and isolated. Her relationships with fellow housewives became strained, with insiders hinting at growing tensions and feuds. Dorrit, once the queen of Beverly Hills glam, was slowly losing her throne. By year's end, admiration had shifted to sympathy, and her story arc had morphed from that of a celebrated fashion icon to a cautionary tale about the pitfalls of maintaining a facade. Garcelove, by contrast, had always been the poised, articulate, and respected voice on Beverly Hills. Her combination of elegance, intelligence, and honesty made her a fan favorite, someone who brought credibility to a show often defined by drama and chaos. But even Garcelle's world was shaken in 2025. After 5 successful seasons, she announced her departure from the series. Publicly, it was framed as a personal decision, a desire to focus on family and pursue new opportunities. Behind the scenes, however, whispers of tension with producers and cast members suggested there was more to her exit than met the eye. Garcelle had always been assertive and principled, traits that had won her respect but also made her a target in the cutthroat reality TV world. The constant expectation to act as the show's moral compass became increasingly draining. Walking away, though framed as empowerment, also highlighted the burnout that often accompanies life in the spotlight. Fans were stunned. A part of Beverly Hills' magic seemed to vanish with her exit. While she may have opportunities awaiting her outside of reality TV, her departure marked the end of an era and underscored the pressures even the most composed housewives face when the cameras stop rolling. Lisa Rinna's story unfolded differently, but was equally compelling. Known for her loud personality, unfiltered opinions, and appetite for controversy, Lisa thrived on drama. For years, she dominated Beverly Hills storylines, constantly involved in conflicts and gossip. Yet, this same flair for chaos eventually caught up with her. After leaving the series, Lisa attempted to reinvent herself through business ventures and media projects. But without the constant presence of Bravo cameras, her influence waned. Her greatest strength, creating tension and turning it into compelling content, became a weakness when the public grew weary of it. By 2025, her performances felt forced, her attempts to stay relevant, transparent. Where she once controlled the narrative, she was now an observer as others took the spotlight. Her exit signaled not just the end of a chapter, but the beginning of a slow decline in her pop culture relevance. Fans who once celebrated her boldness now viewed her efforts with fatigue, highlighting the precarious nature of reality TV fame. One moment you're in the center of attention, the next you're watching from the sidelines. Finally, Ramona Singer, a fixture of the Real Housewives of New York City, experienced a downfall that was equally dramatic but rooted in her own words. Known for her unfiltered, sometimes abrasive personality, Ramona built a decade-long career on being outspoken. However, 2025 proved that even seasoned housewives could misstep. A controversial social media post, widely criticized as offensive and harmful, triggered an immediate backlash. Fans and critics alike called for her permanent exclusion from housewife events. Sponsors withdrew support, producers distanced themselves, and even her most loyal followers criticized her actions. Ramona attempted to apologize, claiming she had been misunderstood and blaming cancel culture. But the damage was done. What had once been her defining trait, blunt honesty, had transformed into a liability. The woman who brought humor, chaos, and larger-than-life moments to New York City became a cautionary tale about the consequences of forgetting the line between honesty and harm. Ramona's fall illustrates a recurring theme among these women. Fame can be both a gift and a trap. Each of the 5 housewives, Erika, Dorrit, Garcelle, Lisa, and Ramona, experienced the peak of Bravo stardom, only to see their worlds unravel in very different ways. Erika's troubles were fueled by legal issues and public distrust. Dorrit's decline stemmed from financial struggles and personal heartbreak. Garcelle chose a graceful exit, a quiet departure that still left fans mourning the loss. Lisa's overexposure and relentless pursuit of relevance left her sidelined, and Ramona's own words alienated her audience, demonstrating how quickly influence can turn into liability. The unifying factor is that reality TV fame magnifies every mistake. Social media, relentless and unfiltered, leaves little room for error. Every scandal becomes a headline, every misstep a meme, and every apology is dissected for sincerity, or the lack of it. What was once glamorous and enviable, the designer wardrobes, the sprawling mansions, the lavish parties, can quickly become a magnifying glass highlighting vulnerability, poor decisions, or just the human cost of life in the spotlight. Still, the story isn't entirely bleak. There's always potential for reinvention. Erika may reclaim her career or rehabilitate her image. Dorrit could find a fresh start in business or a Bravo spinoff. Garcelle's talents extend beyond reality TV, offering new opportunities. Lisa might land another project that resonates with audiences, and Ramona could find redemption if humility and reflection guide her next steps. Ultimately, 2025 revealed a simple truth about the Real Housewives universe. Fame is fleeting, scandal is permanent, and surviving under the spotlight requires more than charm. It requires resilience. For these 5 women, the glitter dimmed, The applause faded, and they were suddenly human again. And in that fall, viewers are reminded that even behind the glitz, no one is untouchable.